What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Tatted and Rich. Welcome to your second installment of Hippies and Pancakes. As usual, I got my bro DJ Q Waves in here with me. My boy D in here with me.
What's up, people?
I got the soft 30 girls in the back, you know what I'm saying?
Hey!
And as usual, got a very special guest. You know, I always keep a special guest. I have the Vibe Queen.
Hello. Gang gang.
I'm trying to get the J like, but while we get that started, right? How about you tell the people, you know, where you at, where you going?
Hello. I go by the Vibe Queen. I drink kombucha. I don't fuck with lean. I'm from Washington, D.C. And yeah, that's where I'm from.
Alright, so I know you shaking in your boots about these questions, right?
Yes.
I ain't even gonna go into my phone yet. I'm just gonna ask you one thing.
Alright, what's good?
Who's the GOAT?
Who's the what?
Who's the GOAT?
Who's the GOAT? Greatest of all time. Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill? This ain't like a common answer around these spots, right, y'all?
Because she's the GOAT. She's the GOAT. Period.
What makes her the GOAT?
It's just, I feel like as a female artist, I mean, kind of like how you say, like when you hear a rap song that starts with like my pussy, I feel like Lauryn Hill created this movement where it's cool to actually talk about real things, talk about spirituality, talk about, you know, politics and things that are actually going on. So I feel like she inspires a lot of women to be different than what the norm is, and I feel like that's why she's the GOAT.
So that's what you rap about?
I rap about a lot of different things, but I like to make sure that the things that I do rap about in some way inspires and uplifts. You know, you can still have fun, but I feel like music should also be like education, you know, like.
So what's your favorite song you got?
My favorite song that I made?
Yeah.
I would say Strawberry High. That's my favorite song.
That's the shit that was just playing?
Yeah.
I like that shit too.
Thank you.
Yeah, that shit was fire. Why that's your favorite song though?
It was my first single that I actually released, and the song talks about like self-care, you know, like I rub myself down in coconut oil, you know, and I spark my cigarello. It's just like a free feeling, you know, song, you know. And when I wrote it, I was literally singing it to myself through the actions, you know. So it's just so real to me, and I feel like other women can relate to it, you know.
Wow. So you write for women, you know. No. I can't like your music. I'm saying that, but I like the song.
It's not for women, but I feel like women can relate to getting out the shower, rubbing themselves in oil, you know, like
we don't self-care, y'all.
No.
I don't self-care after the shower. I don't roll J's. I don't lubricate my skin.
So you relate to it too. So it's for you.
Okay.
You know?
All right, cool.
It's for all of us.
Cool, bet. Because I like that shit. You feel me? So, all right. So basically, we're going to jump into my questions. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
You ready? All right, cool. So, what's the culture? Like, what is this phrase that they're using now? What is the culture? Like, what is it to you?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just not hearing this phrase.
You never heard this before?
Say, for the culture?
When you be hearing people like, oh, for the culture, this is the culture. Like, what is that to you?
I mean, I guess it's a collective of people and the way that they act. I don't know. Like, when I hear for the culture, I hear like, we're doing this for us. And so whoever us is, you know, in that moment, it's kind of hard to explain.
No, that's what I'm getting at too. Because I be hearing people say for the culture, but I feel like they kind of like make it exclusively like the hip hop culture or like or black people.
Okay, you know, I mean, I guess
urban culture.
I guess I can say urban culture because I didn't think of it like specifically hip hop culture.
Right.
But it does feel like a urban thing. Like, what do we do for the culture? Because you don't see like Latinas or like, you know, Caucasian people being like for the culture.
No, they do be like for the culture. Tim be like for the culture. For the culture.
Well, I don't know. Then I don't know. Maybe it's an art movement, I guess.
So where you fit in the culture? Like, where you feel like, you know, like what's your footprint in all this shit that's going on?
Yeah, man. I just feel like I'm here once again, like just to inspire and uplift people, you know, make it cool to be you and be individual, you know, make it cool to be like all around artist. And that's just, I don't know. I feel like that's my imprint. I do it for the culture, like, you know.
So how about this? I want you to be comfortable, right?
Yeah.
So teach me about this bitch shit, because I don't know nothing about this bitch shit.
That's a really like I can talk about beer for days.
All right, so teach me about the beer shit.
Beer,
the IPA shit.
Where do you want to start? Like
the IPA. What the fuck is that?
So beer, okay, an IPA is an Indian Pale Ale. It's when you're drinking an IPA, it's typically more like hop forward. So okay, hop forward means that it's going to be more bitter. It's going to kind of leave like this like bite, like this little taste in your mouth almost. Americans like really, really love like IPAs. So like if you're an experienced beer drinker, like you mostly drink IPAs. I personally don't like IPAs. I'm more like into stouts and like ESBs and like amber ales.
I don't know what none of that. You know, you gotta teach me.
Beer is so, there's just so much. Like beer is like, there's over thousands, maybe even million different styles and recipes.
So what kind of beer? Like, don't you got your own beer?
Yes. So I make beer. I have my second beer out on tap right now. It's my second collaboration with Right Proper. This beer is called Amethyst Strip. It's a Belgian style pale ale. So it's basically, so you basically drink it. It's like very light, slightly tart because there's like black currants in there. And then it kind of finishes a little dry.
What's the black currant?
It's a fruit. Yeah, so we use 42 pounds of black currants. So black currants are kind of like a tart, kind of like a plum and a blackberry. I don't know. Have you ever had a plum?
I'm good with that shit right now.
Yeah, it's really good, but the beer is delicious. The first beer I ever made was called Strawberry High. Actually, you can see the trend. I like to name my beers after my songs. But it was a milkshake IPA. And so that one was, instead of it being bitter because we used milk lactose, it was more like creamy and delicious. It's kind of like you were drinking like a beer milkshake, which was dope.
I don't like beer. That should be getting me.
You gotta, I mean, people say they don't like beer, but like you have to like, if you drink a Bud Light or Corona, to me, that's not beer. It's just so processed. It's so like filtered down that it is not beer to me. So I feel like when you have real beer, like it'll change your whole perspective. Like most people who think they don't like beer, like try like a craft beer and then they're like, wow, you know?
Yeah, so do you rap about your beer?
I have a line that says, I brew beer, but should be drinking tea.
Oh, yeah.
Vegetarian, I only want the lean.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You drink lean?
No, wait. Vegetarian, I only want the green. That's what
All right. Did you drink lean?
No, I don't drink lean. I don't know why. No, because I got the lines mixed up. No, I don't drink. I don't fuck with that shit.
You sure?
I'm serious. I don't fuck with that shit.
So, what inspired you to rap? Like, when you get started? How you get started doing this?
What inspired me? Life inspired me. I started as a poet, and a lot of my poetry was like is about like, it's very political. It's very like self like evaluation. It talks about some of the stuff that like happens in the world. And yeah, so I've always been a poet. I've always been a writer. And then as I grew up, you know, I fell in love with like hip hop and rap and jazz and blues and all that stuff. And so I just started writing songs. And I think rap to me is one of the greatest forms of communication because you're mixing everything with like, you have a message, but you put a rhyme scheme behind it. You put a cadence behind it. So it's easier for people to like digest it like mentally. And so I feel like, cool, like, you know, if you want to get a word out or you want to inspire people, I think rap is literally such a powerful tool that most people don't really like, you know, really recognize. So yeah, that's basically how I got into it. That's what inspired me.
So like, what poem got you started? Like that one that made you like, I know you had like a bunch of stuff that you had before you jumped out there, but what's the one you jumped out there with? Like, you know what? If all those fails, this the one right here I'm gonna spit.
It's called The Sleeping Giants.
Let me hear that shit.
Okay. It's a little long.
All right, we got time.
Okay, Sleeping Giants. Ignorance provides us a senseless bliss. Our minds are conditioned to live a life of insignificance, to live as bums and leeches, to feed off of greed and forged teachings, trained to vomit words with no meaning and live as slaves to a rotting society. While beaten together in a string of no hopes or dreams laced with quality substance, we've been joined together in our abundance of futility. But see, if I can sway the world this way or that way, I will sway us in a direction that promises true peace, love, and happiness. I will train us to fly out of our bird's nest, to embark on a true quest, to seek something other than practical teachings treated as facts, worn as hats by remedial minds who define divine with hypocrisies, false prophecies, power and fame, calculating equations that just don't add up to love in our brains. While mortality is dried out like maybe forgetting to put tops on pens, we surrendered our voices, our choices made for us from the beginning to the end, and this is all happening while we're sleeping. While losing the ability of understanding life beyond what's realistic to the conditioned eye, we've forgotten that we are not limited to what's beneath these earth skies. This enlightenment will provide us a natural high and turn our gray souls into a rainbow. See me? I'm nothing but a lost rhythm who's had to find its way out of a mental prison in hopes to grow, flow through into these sleeping giants, to wake us up, shake us up, help us pick up the shattering pieces of ourselves, fill us with a new energy, a new melody that helps break us free as well. And watch as we all rise from the deep, as the new world does witness to the new rhythm of our giants' feet. The giants, they walk within me to the new beat of their awakening hearts. And they sing, the giants no longer sleep. They have risen from the deep. And the whole world will bear witness to the rhythm of their feet. That's the point.
That's really good. You gotta get snaps. We need snaps. We need snaps. We gotta have some class here. Let's go. So I love it. I love it. So, how you get started doing that?
I don't know. I've been doing poetry since the 3rd grade. I don't know. There was like this poetry competition, like this national, I don't even remember the name of it, but I just know that like my grandmother was just like, oh, a poetry competition. And I was like, oh, I want to write a poem. And it was such a silly poem. It was called My Friends. And it was weird, but I got 2nd place. So after that, I was
charged up after that, huh?
Yeah, I was super charged up in 3rd grade. I was excited,
So like, I mean, I just met you not too long ago, so I'm gonna just tap in like what you've been doing. Do you like hit poetry open mics? Like, do you go to those?
I used to. As when I started like rapping, I kind of stopped going.
So you don't go there and rap? You don't go to those and rap?
No, I was doing open mics, but eventually I just started getting booked for like private like stuff. Like, oh, we want you to do poetry at this show, do poetry at that show, and I kind of just not fell off in the scene. I kind of just like grew out of the scene almost. Right. I'm not saying like the scene is great, but it's just like for me, I just wanted to do something different. Like I was, like I used to go to Busboys and what was this other one? They closed it. It used to be on U Street. Dang, I forgot the name of it. But I used to always be on a poetry scene, for sure.
So how you sell your bid? Like how you get that off?
So the beer, it's a collaboration. So with the actual brewery facility, like I brew it there. We brew it there and then we sell it there. You can get it like growlers of it to go, like to take home. So you can, so it's very exclusive. So you can only get it from that specific brewery.
Right.
Which is really dope. It's fun.
It's in DC, what is it?
Yeah, it's in DC. It's 624 T Street. It's right next to Howard Theater. Right. So yeah. Okay. Eventually, I'm working on mass producing. So I hope by 2021 to have like my beer in stores, so like you can get it from more places than one.
You got some rap questions for her?
Oh God.
Do you have a dream feature?
A dream feature, yes. Kendrick Lamar.
Wow.
Kendrick Lamar, man.
Where the fuck is Kendrick?
Kendrick Lamar, like he when I tell like coming from a poetry background, I feel like Kendrick Lamar, like he's a poet. Like he's a poet and he raps. And his cadences, he tells stories. Like I inspire to like be like Kendrick Lamar. Like I would love to do it. I feel like he'll bring out the best of me, you know? He will really make me like go there with my music, expand in my writing. And I feel like we can just go off. I look forward to that collaboration, actually.
Y'all heard of that dude D-Smoke?
Yes, he's dope too.
Yeah, he sounds just like Kendrick.
Yeah, he sound like Kendrick to you, but I feel like that, but then I don't feel like that.
Like they voices sound the same.
I mean, they from the same section though, for real.
Yeah. I think they rap with like a lot of weight to it. They don't just rap. Like they actually create like experiences. They tell stories. They, you know, it's not just like da 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 da. It's just like whoa, you know. It's like poetry, you know.
Do you have a top 5 female rapper list?
Top 5 female rappers.
Why you gotta be so specific? That's not fair. Let's be fair and ask if like period. Like who's the best rappers?
Top five female rappers.
Not a lot of good female rappers.
Female rappers.
If you say one,
I would say myself. I love myself. I'm dope.
Can I get the Tiger Woods?
Can I have like 2 more seconds to answer this question?
Do you talk this?
Okay. I like Cardi B. I like Cardi B because she's an entertainer. She's a performer. I think she has a great team behind her. I like her as a package. I like... This is a hard question. I like Lauryn Hill. Why can't I think of any female rappers right now?
That's what I was saying.
Damn. I like Young M.A. She's hot. She's super hot.
Should have said her first.
Yeah.
What about like E?
No, but I like. I'm not really an E fan.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Like, come on, man. Like them early female rappers, kind of was like early male rappers. They was kind of like, all right, bro. Cat and hat does rhyme, bro. We get it. Like,
I'm
but it
super
was,
stuck.
The E John was the song about her
I'm
friend.
tripping. Rhapsody. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Rhapsody is like
that's what I was
hands
thinking.
down. I just saw her.
wow.
Actually, let's pause. Let's rewind that back. Answer that question again. I would literally say, I don't know why. I would literally say Rhapsody. I honestly feel like she is such an underrated rapper. Like her Eve album was like crazy. And that's like what made me think of her. I was like, oh, fuck that shit. Like Rhapsody. Hands down. Rhapsody. Then I'll say Young M.A. Then I'll say me. Because I gotta give it up to the greats. Then I'll say Cardi B. Then I'll say
Barty.
King.
Do you think Rhapsody can cross over?
Unfortunately, I don't think so because she's real. Like and I've seen that she's kind of like changed her image, you know, to try to like cross over. But unfortunately, because she doesn't look like Cardi B or even young, you know, M.A., like she doesn't dress like a girl. She doesn't show her ass and titties, but she's a dom. So like people are like, ooh, you know.
Girls be wanting to fuck.
Yeah, girls we want to fuck. So she's still sexy, but I feel like Rhapsody is a pure hip hop. Huh?
I'll be one to hit that bitch though.
I do. Shit, just kidding.
I mean, like,
Hey, younger man, what's good?
I hang out with
Young M.A. got
Follow me on
all the
IG.
chicks throwing it.
I throw them pennies.
That's the only reason I'm trying to hang out. Gang. Young M.A. got the
The
legs.
money, like.
She's just really beautiful. She's really beautiful.
I want no stroke from you.
Yeah, you want that young and May stroke.
Hello. Okay.
Period.
I'm over this shit, bro.
Shout out to Young M.A.
Shout
I
out
fuck
to-
with Young M.A.
Shout out to Young and A.
I'm just saying
Get
though.
her past her my way. Just shoot me a text.
Girl, I got you. We're gonna go on a triple date together. Okay.
Hello.
We're going to stay together.
Rumble.
That's just like all my other homies. They just so cold blooded. It's all good.
Yeah, so 5. I think I
That's
still
crazy.
named 4, but that's my 5.
So no top 5, just general male and female list.
No, I don't really. It's hard to rate my artists because like I I change what I listen to so often. And then also like when you're kind of working on your own art, you kind of like tend to tune out almost, like to say. Like I like when I'm working on like big projects, I like to just listen to instrumentals. Like I just like to listen to like, because I want me, you know, I want to pull out my full like inspiration behind whatever song I'm writing. But I like those. I like Kendrick Lamar. I like other rappers. I think that
Like Cole?
yes, I love J. Cole. He's amazing. He also went underrated after like he started talking about real shit.
Like 21 Savage?
I mean, I like his song.
That's my boy.
I like his song.
That's my man
It's
right
a good
there.
song.
Hey, why Ice had to snatch my man up? That had me fucked up. I was like, that man is not British, bro. He clearly is not British. Like, cut
he
this
is
shit.
British. He's very British. Have you
All
heard
right,
him talk
man.
normal?
And listen, man, he probably acting. He Idris Elba, man.
That's cool.
Like, come on, man. Anybody can throw on a fake British accent. I mean,
He clearly wasn't.
He's
faking
been to
it.
Britain before. He picked up on it a few times. I mean, hey, you know, it is what it is.
It's like of all the places to lie about though, like why the UK?
Hello.
That's funny.
Nah, for
Don't get me
real.
wrong, it's a plot twist.
So Lauryn Hill. Talking about Lauryn Hill. What you know about Lauryn Hill?
No, she's awesome.
What's the biggest lesson you learned from her?
The biggest lesson I learned from Lauryn Hill is that like honestly, like I said, like she was one of the, as I grew up, my mom listens to Lauryn Hill all the time. That's Sunday morning, you wake up to Lauryn Hill. I don't know, she just taught me that you have to do more like with your art. Like, okay, it's fun to make some songs here and there, but you have a responsibility as an artist to once again inspire and uplift people. And she like that was her responsibility, and because of her I can listen to a Lauryn Hill song and I can feel after listening to it, I don't know, I feel better, you know, I feel good. And I don't know, she just told me that you have a responsibility as an artist. So if you're rapping about pussy all day, everybody who listens to you rapping about pussy all day, that becomes their world, you know, my pussy. But if you're listening to someone singing about now the joy of my world is in Zion, like her church, like you're like, wow, like there's joy in this and that, you know. That's I don't know, that's what I feel.
All right, so biggest lesson I learned from her:
Steer taxes.
pay your fucking taxes. Pay your fucking
That
taxes,
too.
all right?
That too.
It's tax season. Pay your fucking taxes.
That was her team though.
I mean, so
You gotta have a good team.
So how you feel about that? Like, how you feel about, you know, you operating in this industry, we knowing what it is. Like, how you feel about big business and then, like, you being an independent artist trying to make a way in this? Like, where you feel like you standing on this?
It's definitely hard as like an independent artist, but I feel like if you have a really good work ethic and you believe in yourself and you actually have a good product, because at the end of the day, like that's what you are a product. I feel like you can push it. I do feel like if you know how to play it right, I feel like you can work with larger like labels, but you have to have yourself like educated first. You know, you have to know like the ins and out and not just go into a deal without actually, you know what I'm saying? Like going in without knowing what that deal is, you know? So I feel like if you're an independent artist and you like get the opportunity, I feel like it could be beneficial only if you do it in the right way. If to stay independent, I feel like you just have to do a lot more work and a lot more, yeah.
I feel like in today's climate with the music, it's more beneficial to stay independent because you make more off 100,000 sales than you would if you made 100,000 sales through a big corporation.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because they kind of create your leverage, and it's like I feel like leverage is important. So like I heard you say stuff like about Cardi B and like her brand as far as her being the whole package deal. What's your package deal? Like what you selling?
So yeah, the Vibe Queen, you know, like I'm just high vibrational, high energy. I I like girls to feel like, hey, you can still be cute, but you don't have to like show ass and titties all the time. I mean, it's okay to show it sometimes, but I like to give people like, I don't know, like a different concept of what it means to be like a dope ass female rapper. You know, like I don't have to wear like baggy, I don't have to like wear like baggy pants and like not look cute, but I can also like, you know, wear my lipstick and lashes and then wear a hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want girls to feel comfortable being them. And I think that's like my brand is like dope. Like this is this dope, high vibrational female, like with the crystals, and she makes beer and she's relatable, you know, because she's a real ass woman. And so I think that's what my package is. And that's why like a lot of women and like men and everybody can like relate to me, especially like cultures too. I feel like I relate to a lot of different cultures. It's not just like a one, oh, this is solely for Black people. Like I'm here for everyone, you know, people I relate to.
So you feel like your music crossed boundaries too with the cultures as far as like it being a way of communication?
Yeah, definitely. Especially like even when I made my beer, when I did my first song, Strawberry High, DC Beer, they're this big newsletter. Anything beer, like they talk about, and they did an article about me because they thought it was so cool that I merged beer and music, because that does not happen in DC or in the city or anywhere yet where you have like beer and music together. And so like they had my song, and then a lot of people who came to try my beer, like from different cultures, were like, wow, like your beer is dope. And I heard your song. Your song's amazing. You know, like, yes, like I love cigarillos. Like, what? You know, it's so funny. It's like, I like to smoke, you know, like it just, I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of what my music does. And not just because I make the music, but I found a way to bring different, you know, communities together with my music, you know, through beer, you know, or beer or poetry or crystals, you know.
All right, one more question. Hold on. I'll let you read this one.
Okay. Where are the pancakes? I don't know. Where are the pancakes?
Almost.
Okay.
Sizzling in the background.
No, for real. No, for real. No, so I heard you talk about your mom a lot. You know, I rap, so, you know, that's part of, like, I guess what drives me to do this, you know, family, of course.
Mm-hmm.
How does she support you with the music?
Oh, my mom is everything. How do I say it? I don't know. She's the reason why I have such an eclectic background of like genres. Like my mom would listen to like she's Tupac, but then she would listen to Raheem DeVaughn, but then she'll listen to like Bobby Womack, and then she'll put on the Ghetto Twins. So like I just had.
Hey, fuck the Ghetto Twins.
Whoa, you don't know the Ghetto Twins?
Hey, you know the Ghetto Twins are?
You gotta play.
Something about the Ghetto
You gotta
Twins?
play some Ghetto Twins.
Like,
they go hard.
You know what the Ghetto Twins are?
They go hard.
You shaking your head, yeah. You know what they are. Let me hear one laugh from the Ghetto Twins.
Oh
I never heard of them.
They two sisters. Yeah. They rap hard as fuck. Mama told me there would be days like this. You gotta hustle hard if you wanna be rich. Like that's
shit like that.
Yes.
Who they signed to?
They old. Like they go to Twins. They real old.
Yeah,
They was just.
You was out here listening to that shit. I heard of.
Yeah, my mom used to bump the Ghetto Twins. Like one about me and my sister
with your
turned
bike.
out to be gangsters.
With your headphones on, like.
You want some nuts?
Yes, please.
No nuts for me. No nuts for me.
I guess. Wait, is that organic?
What is that? Nutmeg?
Oh.
Huh?
It's maple syrup or regular syrup?
Oh, I want maple syrup. Maple syrup is kind of sweet.
Is that auntie right there?
Yes.
Yeah, holler at auntie for me. Hey, auntie.
Actually back.
Oh my god.
No, for real.
I can't wait for y'all to hear this Ghetto Twin stuff. They did like Ain't No Sun. They did a remix of like Ain't No Sunshine or whatever. Hey.
That's it.
Wait till you hear them start rapping though. Hey, hey.
Please.
Wonderful. Oh my god. This is so beautiful. I kind of want to take a picture of these.
Y'all don't like it, don't say it on camera.
I'm just gonna.
This fake either.
Sorry. Can I take a picture of this?
Oh,
These are so cute. Wow.
shit, and me.
The pancakes
Yes,
as a
pancakes.
rise. We had the hippies.
Yes.
Damn, has giraffe. A lot of rappers
Oh man.
that I talk to, right?
Mm-hmm.
They act like it's like rap is not a competition. How you feel?
Rap is not a competition. Yes and no. I feel like, in my eyes, like Kendrick Lamar, like I want to be greater than Kendrick Lamar. So in that sense, it's just like you inspire me to be great at my craft. But then at the same time, I think people take competitions like too seriously, and that's why you have so much like rap beef and violence and all types of stuff. I think it should be like a healthy competition. Like we should, like who's the best, like who had the best rap song this year, and it sets the bar, if that makes sense.
Hey, bro. Why she keep saying Kendrick Lamar?
Because he's my
Cause
baby.
he bomb.
He's a really dope.
He the GOAT?
He's a dope
The
example.
GOAT of what?
Right.
Why he the GOAT? Why is he the GOAT? Why? Everybody, just let me know something. Somebody tell me something. I mean, I believe he's good. I just like to know why people are the GOAT.
Look at his resume.
Jay-Z is the GOAT.
Again,
No, for real.
again, yeah. But at the same time, like
But
Jay-Z, not even a but. Jay-Z set a bar. Because when you go back to the competition, like thing, he set a bar. Like 50 Cent. 50 Cent is dope. And I think 50 Cent is dope not because of his rap, but I feel like the way that he, like came into the game. Where he came into the game basically calling out every other rapper, off some like, not like he wanted to really wanted that beef, but it was just like, it just set the bar. Kendrick Lamar did the same thing. He called out everybody. And then that kind of like launched him.
then nobody really clapped back for real.
Yeah, because he's the.
People said something back.
Who really?
Trying to think. I know who said something. But
But like
You
we gonna
said
say stuff to
Papoose, but I
Kendrick
thought you
Lamar
didn't
that
even
is so
like
dope.
Papoose.
I ain't gonna say like that.
Who don't like Papoose? Somebody ain't like Papoose.
I don't know. I don't really know who Papoose is, but thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like it should just be healthy competition.
Alright, so you listen to any female rappers from the city? Like
From the
area?
city?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Lady C. I think she's super dope.
Right.
I like VCP. She's amazing. Bad blood with these hoes. Like that shit. Everything. She's super dope. A dope artist that performed recently. I think her name was Madam. What's her name? Madam. Anyway, she's dope. I don't know. This is very few artists that I listen to.
You ever heard of Shelly? The MC?
I heard of Shelly the MC. I have not dove into her music. I do like Kilo though. Kilo is a really dope artist as well. She's very funky and cool and she's very fun. So,
Kilo. So
yeah, Kilo. Latasha.
you do any collaborations with like any female artists?
I have not done any yet. I've been asked. I would really like to do one with VCP because she's like super dope and Lady C. But not yet. I haven't done any features or collaborations.
So how you gauge that? Like as an artist, how you gauge who you gonna do music with? Like who you gonna collab with? Who you gonna be public with your art with?
It's all about energy, for real, because once you associate yourself with somebody, like, that's it, Like, people see you and they see them and they be like, oh, you got that song with such and such. So, because like I said, I have like things lined up, but when I do start choosing these things, I just want to make sure the energy is good. They're dope as well, I don't want to just jump on somebody's track. They're trash. and then I'm the one that's like, you know, making a song hot.
Why not?
I don't know. Like, I want to work with good artists.
That's the point of being a rapper. Though. They go back to the competition thing. 'Cause,
True.
like, I get on music, get on songs sometimes with like other artists, and I'm like, should I hold back or should I just go like hard as shit on here and outshine them on this song?
That's a good perspective. Thank you. That just changed my whole perspective in like one sentence.
I mean, cause like what you supposed to do?
I don't know. I'm just like, oh yeah, we're doing a song together, but that's right. Like, I'm not gonna like not go hard. Just I don't know. But I would want to go like I would want to do a record with a good rapper. You know, I think it's different from when you're on a record and they're like, dang, like that's a dope rapper, and she just killed that whole track.
Mm-hmm.
Versus that rapper's trash. She just killed the whole track. It's like, of course she killed the track because that rapper's trash.
I mean, that's ideally, but like some rappers are trash.
Yeah.
I mean, but would you give out bad sets? No, so don't give out bad music. Go in there and steal their shine.
True.
Come on, I want to hear that again because that was
agree.
good. That was dope. Sugar Mama in the back from Kentucky said, "Go ahead, Sugar Mama. Go ahead, Sugar Mama. Take it away."
I said, would you give out bad sex? No, so don't give out bad music.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you gonna outshine somebody in sex? Shit, I do. So don't outshine.
Yeah.
don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't go in there and half-ass it. No, if you trash, oh well, you should ask me to be on your track.
True.
Like now I'm gonna steal your shine. Oh well.
So spank their ass every time.
Yeah.
Yes,
Really?
every damn time.
But then sometimes, you know what they do? They don't drop the music.
I don't know.
Thank you, Sugar Mama.
Thank you. I just feel like I want to work with people who are good at what they do. And if anybody can get me on their track, then what's the value, you know? I feel like I value my time, I value my creativity, I value my music, and I'm not about to get on no track with no, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather that competition be in there. Like, I get on the track and we rapping like, oh, who killed this verse harder? But you can feel that through the song versus
Right.
like having to listen to a song. Like, first off, why did the Vibe Queen even get on that song? You know?
Right.
I just think it's a difference. It's like
keep jumping on everybody's shit for what? You know what I'm saying? Then you lose.
I know
value
I'm a
that
dope
way.
rapper, so I don't have to like, you know, jump on, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to get on tracks to prove that point. I can just do a great song with a great artist and we can shine together type shit.
So that means you got like a lot of understanding of, I guess, like the business part of this. So you understand leverage thing.
Yes.
And you understand the necessity of being like not having a lot of shit out there, like having like scarce, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, so where's your music at? Like, how many songs you got out? How many songs does the world have access to?
So the world has access to 2 songs. I put my first song out last year. I released my second single this year. And I'm currently working on my EP. I basically just put those songs out, like basically testing the waters and like letting people get to kind of know who I am. Overall, I have a lot of music. Like I have a lot of unreleased music. I write every day. So yeah, I'm just ready to put together that collection of work that people can actually listen to my catalog because I rap about I rap about a lot of stuff.
So tell me about the EP.
The EP is going to consist of 8 songs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to release it by summertime. It's just going to be a mixture of like some feel good songs, some like hard shit, and some stuff that kind of like, you know, more spiritual, self-awareness type of stuff. And it's a little bit politics in there because I just believe music should be like I said, education.
Politics, like what?
I mean, just the state of the world, like a lot of things that we don't really recognize that's going on, you know, or that we do, but I feel like our generation, we like numb ourselves to the stuff that we don't really comprehend, like off the bat.
So what you talk about?
I don't know, like I try to bring awareness to politics while like not actually talking about politics, like doing a whole rap about this is legislation, this is this, but just the effect of politics.
Okay, I get
you know, like thinking about housing, thinking about, gentrification. Like, we're living in a city where a lot of the people that were born and raised in the city can't afford to live in the city.
So you rap about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's important because it's like you're listening to it and you're like, oh, wait, damn, I can't live in my city. I do have to go live all the way out Maryland and then
come back and visit and shit, right? Yeah.
And stuff like that. So it's like, but that's politics, that's on purpose. They're even, real estate, you can't, commercial real estate. How many of us in this generation are able to just go drop money on a building and, open a restaurant or open it, stuff like that. So it's just a lot. And so I try to find ways to incorporate that in my music along with the fun stuff.
You got some questions?
No, I was just saying the commercial real estate, that's the key, controlling our where our dollar is spent. That's what we really lack in our community. Really controlling the infrastructure of where our dollars is spent. Even though we might own a restaurant or business, most times we don't own that building that's in, and that's where the real wealth is built. So when you said commercial real estate, I was just saying that is the key.
Yep.
I knew you would, yeah, that's your area of expertise.
I'm trying to make it that, man. I'm trying.
All right, so what you saying all that, I had questions, and I didn't think that we would walk down this road, but So obviously you understand that you have a role in the community, right? Yes. You from here? Like you from DC?
I'm from DC.
All right,
have a big role.
What is your role? Like what do you feel like your responsibility is, or what responsibilities do you assume is your own?
My responsibility for me is being born and raised.
Right.
You hear this phrase a lot, but it just goes back down to generational wealth. I want to create. My art is my art, but I want to use it as a platform to create spaces. I want. How do I say? It might sound like really serious and intense, but I'm very adamant about being able to put money back into my community. So if that means that, like I blow up, I'm a rapper, I'm coming back and I'm buying their property and we're going to have some affordable housing here. I'm opening a brewery, I'm going to open a brewery. I will be the first, young black woman to open up a brewery in Washington, D.C. Why? Because every brewery that is existing in D.C. is owned by, Yeah. And it's like we don't get the money from that, They get the money and they use it to continue to build the city around them. So my responsibility is to use my talents, my art, my passion, and basically give it back to the community. Why? Because when I open my brewery, yes, there's going to be young people who are able to work there. There's going to be other people that gets to learn how to make beer. It's just there's stuff like that. I don't know. I just want to give back in a way that is like substantial to us and not just myself. Besides
jobs, what other ways would you feel like you want to give back?
I want to invest more in like gardens. Like there's a lot of gardens opening up. There's a lot of food deserts in the city. So I want to find ways to help expand like local farmings. I want to open up more creative spaces. I feel like artists don't really have like subsidized classes in the area to do like pianos and jazz, to learn instruments. When I was growing up in DC, we used to have it was like the Powerhouse Project. It was like summer youth programs. So I got to work in studios. I got to learn how to make music. I got to learn how to write songs. I got to learn those things, but they don't really exist as much now. So those are some of the things that I want.
So you said subsidized. So that means you thinking on the level of the people that's at the root. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like, how would you even introduce this to the community, or to not even to the community, because like the community needs it. So how would you go with like introducing this to like, I guess, like people who can do something about this? Like,
so kind of it's already happening. It's just more about the role that I play is like more so bringing more awareness, helping put in more money behind it. In the Visible Art Collective, they just opened up on in Ivy City in Northeast. Ivy in Northeast. Actually, they're not too far from here. They're jazz students, and they basically got, one is a vocal trainer, vocal coach. The other one does violin and stuff like that. So they basically started a collective, and what they're basically doing, what I'm also a part of the collective as well, is just getting money behind it, you know, getting those grants, getting those like stuff to help expand, because they already offer classes, but you need like financial like foundation almost to be able to provide these type of services, especially if they're subsidized, giving it to like low income communities. Like this kid wants to learn how to play violin, you know, but they don't have $500
to pay somebody.
So like, okay, let's cut that cost, but it's, you know what I'm saying, but it's through nonprofit like funding. Like we have to get those grants. And so I don't know, I just think it's just like I have to use my platform to just basically bring more awareness to it, and like just know that the end all goal is to bring money back into the community.
Right, so what's the name of this whole
Indivisible Art Collective. You can follow them on Instagram. Very dope.
How you get involved in that?
I became friends, and they actually, they used to host these festivals at Brooklyn Production Facility, and they gave me the opportunity to do like my first show. I performed Strawberry High, and then ever since then, like I've just been watching them expand. Like we do shows, like raise money, and it's been great.
Did you perform that song the other night?
Strawberry High? No.
You gotta perform that song.
Yeah, I didn't even perform that song the other night.
Cause you keep mentioning it, like the song. So
because it played earlier.
Yeah, you gotta perform that song, because that shit, that's something different right there. That's definitely something different right there.
Kendrick Lamar, and why he's your favorite rapper. So his music is like poetry to you.
Yes.
What do you think inspires that poetry?
Sure, why not? I think. Here you go. I don't know, because he's an artist. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what inspires it. I don't know, maybe it's his life, like what he's been through, but I just think he's a true like creative. You know?
What about it connects with you the most?
I mean, just everything, the storytelling, the way that his rhyme schemes, his song structures. This is probably the biggest reason why I like Kendrick Lamar, because I'm a songwriter, and I grew up writing songs as like structured, you know, like arrangements, like song arrangements, and I feel like he writes songs, you know, like he doesn't have like I don't know how do I put this, like he puts like a piece of work together, and like it actually takes you through a journey. For instance, like you hear a song that's just repetitive, it says like the same thing. This is the hook, da, 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 da. This is the rap, this is the hook. I feel like he really creates the hook, the bridge, the rap scheme. I don't know. I think he writes songs. He's really good at it.
He like the first rap artist to get like a Pulitzer Prize too for his writing. So when people get up here and ask me this question, like I genuinely feel like I want them to argue stats, like when you talking about basketball, you know what I'm saying? And like statistically speaking, he's a GOAT for that. Like the Pulitzer Prize, come on man.
And I'll be honest, bro. Like I don't.
And that was shit. What Good Kid, Mad City, like was shit he wrote at 16. So by the time we get to Damn, we 18 by now. We putting out that shit. That's old work he putting out.
What's your favorite Kendrick Lamar?
My favorite Kendrick Lamar album, I would have to say, That's hard, because like I say, I don't really idolize people. Like I just know what I like, and I don't think I have a favorite album
To Pimp a Butterfly was like pretty dope, like a solid.
Yeah, I think it was dope. I don't have a favorite album. Like, I just have favorite songs by that person. I think the Good Kid, the Mad City one is dope because I feel like that launched his career. And I think Damn was awesome because like the artist like he had in there was pretty cool. But I don't think I have a favorite album.
High Power was fire jam too.
Yeah.
That was some fire shit from Kendrick. Like this, High Power was some fire shit. Cause that and what's the other joint? The one when he did all the Wayne songs on and shit, Overdose or some shit.
So you know what?
Is that it? I don't know. Section 80. Nah, Section 80.
It's
Nah,
C4.
it's C4. Okay, yeah. So
They're
it's
all
C4.
Carter 3 beats or something like that.
Yeah, he was all like Wayne song. He said, I ain't scared of none of you rappers. I'm way more loud. That's evil backwards. When he said that, I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, alright, these are bars. You feel what I'm saying? But then I feel like Cole is the answer to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like Batman and Superman. It's like, oh, Superman can't be defeated, but then Batman come through with all this sweet shit and some kryptonite. Like, here you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel about that shit. That's why when I hit people say Kendrick, I'm like, I mean, he's really good and he be like fucking up the words and shit, but so does Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne's insane. I fucking love Lil Wayne.
That's my man.
He's super insane. This stuff, I guess like Kendrick is the only one that kept coming out of my mouth, but like I like J. Cole too. I like Lil Wayne. I think I like other rappers, but I don't think about it a lot. Like I feel like you guys really get into like the hip hop and like the stats and like y'all can quote albums and lyrics. I think I'm more like, oh, I really like that song. He killed it. Oh, that's like, oh, I recognize his style of making music, but I don't really get into the.
Now you know who told me how to rap though? Jill Scott and Erykah Badu. They told me how to rap. Cause like on the I guess what they call it, like the boom bap beats. They well, especially Jill Scott, she uses a lot of her poetry to like make the music. So I learned how to do that. Like, you know what, I'm gonna write these little poetry, these little poems and shit, cook them up, like, alright, memorize them. And then when I hear beats, I memorize them so well, I can slow them down, speed them up. You know what I'm saying? They can fit this shit. So I did that shit. Like I did a cover on HippiesNd Pancakes like that. Like to get in the way of Jill Scott song. So
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't really like. You got that shit? You put that shit up? Yeah, but like I don't know. Like, so what kind of music do you listen to when you on the way to the studio and you try and get in like, you know what I'm saying about that? What you listen to?
I probably am listening to the beats that I'm already going to be recording to, or I like to listen to like really like I like FKA Twigs. I like I don't know, I like sounds, you know, like instrumentals and stuff like that. It's probably what I'm listening to. I don't like to really listen to like other artists I'm about to record because like I want to be like authentic. So I kind of just listen to stuff that's going to kind of like help me loosen up a bit.
You want to spin that shit? Like I memorized this verse so well, you know what I'm saying? So you say make me fancy, all the bitches crazy, boy you so crazy, yeah, I know what you say. I guess, you know.
It's very lazy.
I guess I got like a lot of questions like I guess you can. You know, always kick back and have pancakes again. But that shit was fine.
Yeah.
You like
Pancakes
pancakes?
is so good. I'm like smiling hard as hell. Those are so good.
Pancake?
Yeah. Like when you took my plate, I think they caught on camera when I was like,
Oh shit. Oh no. Please don't make me. I don't need a gif. She'll be saying shit. She'll be saying shit to Jeff kid. He paused right quick.
Aquarius.
Yeah.
Yes.
My birthday's Monday.
Yes. That's awesome. My birthday was
He
on
said, "Bro,
Tuesday.
I'm gonna just say yes."
Aquarius, we want to talk about really. I feel like Aquarius, like we just naturally want to talk about the world and like what needs to happen and what needs to change and how we're going to do it. I like conspiracies.
So,
Definitely
I mean,
into conspiracy.
Roll that
theories.
footage.
conspiracy is a conspiracy is a secret between more than two people.
Exactly. And people think conspiracy is like when people hear the word, they just think that it's like, oh, like it's like they hear the word and they're like, oh, it can't be a conspiracy. It's like a conspiracy is literally what it is. Like they happen every day.
Every fucking
They think it's like a taboo word that's just like, no, it can't be a conspiracy. So it can't be a secret between two or more people.
So you think Tupac alive?
Oh, I don't know.
Run that, please.
I don't have a comment on that.
Run that, please.
I think he's alive in our
Thank
hearts.
you.
I have no comment on that. I just think it's just like, you know, it's just one of those subjects that is just like, you just don't know.
Nah, I think Tupac.
I think Tupac is not alive because I feel like a person like him wouldn't leave the people stuck in a
Yeah.
revolution like this for
Just
this
like
long.
that.
Real shit. And I ain't never said that out of my mouth before.
Yeah.
You always say Tupac. I never be like, oh yeah, Pac, but on some real
I'm just
shit.
saying everything he did when he was 25, and all of our favorite rappers are older than 25 now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, listen. Nipsey make it 3 years past 25, but I feel like as far as his positioning in the game at his age,
Who?
Nipsey Hussle.
Uh-huh.
His positioning in the game versus Tupac is different.
That's respect. I definitely respect that.
Like it's different.
No.
It's just different.
But he's somebody that was inspired by Tupac, and he said that many times.
I mean,
I think Tupac had a different
Purpose. At
yeah,
the
it's
time.
a different purpose because like a lot of like for me, you know, to all the Nipsey Hussle fans, my apologies, but I didn't necessarily come to know who he was.
Right. If you didn't
until
know who he was, it's no disrespect to us
But
if you
everyone
didn't
knew
know
Tupac.
who Nipsey was before he died. I mean, but he was just on his climb. And but
Yeah.
the thing about Nipsey was that he did it the right way. He owned everything from the beginning. He was building the foundation and putting his people and his community in position to also grow. And it's like because everybody found out, they was like, what? It's a person like that. It's a person like that exists that died, you know, right up on the cusp of so much greatness. It's just that when you find out about it, you're gonna, of course, you know, like it. You know what I mean? Just because you didn't hear about it at one time doesn't mean that you can't be a genuine person that you found out about it later on. That's like somebody that got introduced to like I don't know a religion that helped them or something like that later on in life. Somebody saying, "Oh, you didn't grow up in this thing, so you can't be an official member of that." Nah, that's BS. You know, the message get to you when it get to you, as long as you receive it.
So why you feel like that? Nobody ever bring up Big then? Like nobody ever be like, "Oh, well, Big is Biggie." Like nobody really ever pick Big.
I'm not. I think people pick Big. It's more based
it was
on.
with Tupac. Sorry, that's
No, go ahead.
I
You
just
good.
think it was with the work that Tupac was doing. Tupac, yeah, he started off this way, but I feel like Biggie never got into that realm. You know, he never got into that because Tupac was a poet too. You know, he never got into that like up the revolutionary thing. You know, like he just kept it strictly hip hop.
Yeah, strictly bars.
I mean, but I feel like that was revolutionary in itself because you got to remember, like when the rap music and hip hop first started, it was a bunch of that hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, and go from like I feel like this is all communication, but as time went on and the music evolved, I feel like just because he didn't necessarily say, you know, the government starving us, he did mention people starving and crack being served in front of. So it was the same revolution. It was more so it wasn't even like a comparison of like Malcolm and Martin. It was more so like they were saying the same shit from just two different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Because it was basically early trap music, I feel.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
like that was definitely, I feel like, early trap music.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Big definitely was inspirational, but it was just it's just a different thing when Tupac and with Biggie. It's
Tupac started a movement.
Yeah, it was like it was more of a conscious effort to inspire people to want to change. Right. You know what I mean? It was more like, listen, we are in this situation, but we can do something about it. Tupac was like making a concerted effort.
And he was very passionate.
Yeah, about representing it at times. I mean, he was a human being, so ups and downs and shit. But like, who else shot fucking 2 off-duty cops for fucking assaulting the officer? He didn't know they was cops at the time, but
he was just being a grown man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this real life, like, you know. So, and remember, he did all that before he died when he was 25. So he was about it, you know what I mean?
I guess. Man.
Like, that's what I'm saying. You talk about stats, and then he was the most, until Eminem passed him, he was the highest selling rapper of all time. He's outsold everybody else, too.
I mean, that's fine, but, like, he ain't own none of that shit, so like,
yeah, that's true. I think like Tycho.
So we talking rings. So what you think about ownership? How you feel about ownership?
Oh yeah, on everything, baby. I don't like. You really do, and I'm so passionate about my artwork. As I say, everything I do, I copyrighted. I'm not putting no music out. I'm not doing no future nothing if my stuff ain't taken care of. Like if I don't have any type of ownership in it. I think that's like one of if I were to ever like go to a label, that would be like one of the biggest things that I fight for. And just like, look, my music, my art, like.
So like, what would be the point? What would, like, if you had to go to a label, what would be your reason for even going to a label? Like, how would you benefit from that?
The thing I feel like with labels, the biggest thing that they do is they put you on a large platform. I think the beauty in the way things are happening now also gives like independent an advantage because they can learn different ways to collaborate with labels now than when people were just getting signed and it was like, here's a contract, I'm hungry, I'm starving, like, let me sign this, you know. I think it's different when you're not a starving artist, but you're like an artist that, like, you know.
So you think that you can go to a label right now and just be like, you know, hey, I want a deal, and they're gonna make it fair for you?
No, of course not. That's why you do the work. You put the work in. You build your team. You do all of those things. And if you decide that you want to, like, if those deals start coming, like you decide, okay, I like this. This is the most reasonable deal, and it takes your team to kind of like negotiate, like, all right, but there, this, that, and the other, because we're working together, like, you know, versus. I'm just, like, I'm not a starving artist, you know? Right. So I'm not just going to sign my life, my art, my work away. But I will be like, hey, well, cool. We can work this way. Y'all put me on these stages. Y'all get me to Coachella and, you know, all these places. That's fine. This is your percentage. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm keeping this, that, and that, you know? I just think everything is, like, communication and discussing stuff and knowing what you want before you go in it versus like being blindsided. Like you get a contract and you just sign it because you're going to be famous.
So you don't feel like you would be able to create your own leverage and compete with the older business models, the dinosaur models?
No, I feel like I can. There's also like that, you know, one intersection where it's just like, oh, I can't do this. But I also have a mindset that if the opportunity does for not if or like because it's going to happen. I can kind of create my own lane with it, you know, because like there's this old dinosaur model, and there's this new model of like SoundCloud rappers just going out and getting signed. But then I feel like there's this whole space in between that hasn't been tapped yet,
right?
And I feel like that's the space that, you know, I would more than likely be a part of, you know, finding a way to.
What space is that? Like,
It's like finding a way to combine, like, use those resources with these resources and kind of create something in the middle for myself.
Yeah, I feel like that's common sense. Like, that would be common sense for any person trying to get into this industry. So, what's something different like that you bring to the table that's going to set you aside in this market and like make people look at you? Because what I see, I guess I can tell you what I see if you want to know, but I want to know what you feel like you bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, kind of just like what I said earlier, it's just like, it's one, I'm already a businesswoman, you know, because I'm putting like beer. I don't just willy-nilly make beer, you know, it's a business. So I already have that business mindset, and I also have the passion behind that. And then I also have the ability to look in between things. So I don't see things as, oh, that's the label, they're going to steal all your money. If you're independent, you can make your own money. Right. I see all the different, well, this is what the label can do. This is how much I can do on my foot, you know. You know, how do I leverage both of those things? Or do I need to, you know? So I don't know. I just feel like I bring a different kind of vibe, you know, to like how I do things. And I always keep the energy good, you know. I keep a great team around me. So, and I'm not in it just for like I said, I think the key is like I'm not a starving artist. So I'm not about to just come out here and just sign papers and do shit just to get on and just to be famous. Like I'm actually trying to build something, you know. So I'm going to make the right moves, I guess.
So how you get your name?
I was literally blessed with this name. I was doing a bunch of shows and people were just like, yes, vibe. It was like, oh my God, you always bring the vibe. And then finally, eventually someone was just like, yes, vibe queen. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, like I am the vibe queen. Like, yeah. And it just stuck with me. It just went. Like it just.
So would you ever consider changing your name or like rebranding?
Nah. I literally am the vibe queen, and like it kind of can't be undone because you know that's just what people associate me with. Like if I'm at a venue or if I'm at an event, like yes, I'm a vibe. You know, like people, I will come in and people like, oh, we already know it's about to be a party because it's like vibe queen walked in, or they're like, oh, like I will walk into a dry ass party and literally leave and the whole place is turned up.
No, I know the vibes. I'm sharp. I'm sharp.
So like, damn, like, all right, cool. So yeah, now I'm the vibe queen for life. Gang, gang.
So other than that, you know, close out.
What's up?
We can close out.
We can close out? Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for joining me on Hippies and Pancakes.
Thank you for joining me on Hippies and Pancakes. And thank the gang. I want to thank the gang, you know. My man DJ Q Waves, my bro D right here.
Turn up.
My man 10 in the back, of course. You know, my partner in rhyme. And of course, the Vibe Queen.
I drink kombucha.
All right, see y'all next time.